Hello everyone, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today we have a special fight for this channel. If you've been watching the channel or following me, you know I've been doing strictly MMA fights, well, UFC fights to be more precise, but today I'm going to be breaking down a special fight for this video. We have a very important fight in the world of boxing as Canelo Alvarez takes on Terrence Bud Crawford in a fight where whoever wins is most likely the best pound for pound boxer for the next few years, in my mind. Now, there are definitely some other greats in our world of boxing today, like Naoya Inoue, Javante Davis, though, say what you will about his fight with Lamont Roach and how he's dealing with it, nor like the Jake Paul fiasco, which I don't even want to talk about, and Alexander Usyk. But for my money right now, Crawford and Alvarez are one and or two the best pound for pound in the world, and whoever wins is without a doubt the pound for pound best boxer in the world today. Now, looking at their records, Alvarez is 63-2-2. Crawford is 41-0. These two have been long decorated champions. I can't even think of the last time Alvarez fought a fight that wasn't for a title. And now this matchup is going to be contested for Alvarez's super middleweight titles. So this matchup will be at 168 pounds. This is very important because Crawford, for about majority of his career, has fought up from lightweight to super welterweight, mostly fighting at 147, so about welterweight, where, in my opinion, his best showing to date, he beat Errol Spence Jr. in a fight that was supposed to be competitive on paper. It was not competitive at all. And most recently, the heaviest Crawford has ever been in a fight is 153. His last fight against Ismail Mardariev. I apologize if I butchered that last name. Boy. Looking at these two, you have two amazing technicians. Canelo Alvarez is probably the best example of pure Mexican boxing with very technical acumen. His forward pressure never ever takes a back step, constantly going after his opponents while keeping smart tactical head movement, smart blocking. Even if he does get hit every now and again, he's got a granite chin. Actually, both do. In all their fights, they've never once been dropped. Never once. Now, there was one Crawford fight where you could argue it was a drop, but they ruled it as a slip. Now, if he got knocked down or just wrestled down, it still says a lot. Like, they fought over 700 rounds combined and never technically touched the canvas, which is insane to think about. Now, like I said, with Alvarez's style, like I said, it's such smart tactical pressure, slick head movement, perfect shot selections with the left hook. General his left. And usually, now, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not the greatest boxing analyst, but I think I'm pretty good at analyzing fights at this point. I'd say you notice that in all of Alvarez's fight, he puts a lot of emphasis on his left shoulder when he's throwing punches, which gives it much more range of motion and much better reach, whether it's the left hook, the left jab, the left uppercut, which all sets up his right cross, and his body work is fantastic. Now, Crawford, he's probably the best in terms of a boxing sense of a well-rounded boxer. Now, what does a well-rounded boxer mean in comparison to an MMA fighter who's well-rounded? Well, it basically means every punch that he throws is a knockout blow. Whether it's the jab, cross, hook, uppercut, overhand, does not matter. Every punch he throws has lethal intent. He hits with shocking accuracy. He rarely ever misses punches. And any type of punch he throws at any angle will knock you out. Also, what's terrifying about him is he's a switch hitter, so he can fight both in southpaw and orthodox, not only fluidly, but with power in both hands to hurt you no matter which stance he's in, which is a terrifying combo, especially for one as cerebral as Crawford. Now, both guys are the same in an aspect where they both kind of start slow at times, where both need to get their reads. Like, I just recently saw Alvarez's fight with Caleb Plant, or Jaime Munguia. He started slow, but then really started picking up by the fourth round and then onwards. And I mean, both have great cardio. They've fought 12 rounds, 10 rounds, multiple times throughout their careers. Now, Crawford, besides that one fight against Ismail, he had not gone to a decision in years. Like, I think it was 10 or so fights in a row. His fights were going to stoppage wins. While Alvarez, his last stoppage win was against Caleb Plant. Most recently it's like decisions over, like say, Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga, Jermaine Charnello, those type of matchups. But he's at that point, it's like there's certain types of fighters in boxing who's like, if you don't win the early rounds, like say 6 and up, like 1-6, then it's down. It's just like downhill from there, because by that point, the much, much better guy is going to win those later rounds or possibly finish you. Floyd Mayweather made a career off of it. So defensively sound. At that point, he made his reads perfectly to where you couldn't do a damn thing. Obviously, the biggest aspect when thinking about this fight is how is Crawford going to do at 168 pounds? Now, on the scale, he looked fine, and they both weighed in at about 167. But again, Crawford's never fought at this weight class, so the question is he going to be slower? Does it dampen his power with the added muscle he's had? Is he going to hit harder? That's the questions. Now, of course, these type of questions can only be answered on fight day. So just looking at their overall skills, I don't think Crawford's ever fought a defensively sound fighter like Alvarez. At least not one of this caliber, in my opinion. Like, he's fought some great guys, absolutely. But I just don't think they're as defensively sound, or nor have the head movement of someone like Alvarez. As you've seen, he'll be like face to face with you, and you can't fucking touch him. Now, Crawford's really good at angles himself, but a lot of Alvarez's style banks on his opponents trying to open up more and more to hit him. And at that point, he starts banking on really good left hook counters, right crosses, and overall just not only his pressure, but his ability to just stay out of range just enough from punches to where he can crack back. Now, Crawford is a similar-esque style to that, but his style mostly revolves around making his opponents pay for miscalculated aggression, or I guess aggression without much of a game plan. Like you see Sean Porter or Errol Spence, two very good pressure fighters in their own right. Crawford was just picking them apart and making them pay for that aggression without that didn't have much defense into them. Alvarez does not have the same, I don't think, defensive lapse as Errol Spence Jr. nor Sean Porter. And, this is easily the hardest puncher Crawford's going to be facing. But at the same time, I don't think Alvarez has not fought a switch hitter, especially someone who can make the angles and reads like Crawford. Now, looking at the odds, Alvarez is a minus 175. Crawford is a plus 140. I agree why the odds are like they are is because Alvarez is going to be the natural bigger fighter. He's fought at this weight class majority of his career. And this is the first time we've ever seen Crawford this big in a fight. Man, it's so tough to call because both very rarely make mistakes. They've lost rounds, absolutely. But they very rarely make mistakes. And you can go, oh, but Alvarez has losses. Crawford's never lost. That's true. But you also look at, who Alvarez lost to. When he was very young, he lost to Floyd Mayweather. No shame in that. And then he lost to Dimitri Bivol. That's how you properly pronounce it, at the 170s. At super middleweight, he's unstoppable. And even at middleweight too, he was unstoppable. It's like these losses are not damning in the sense of like, oh, the one guy who's never lost is going to win because he's never known defeat. That's not how this works. Especially as someone as skilled as Alvarez, someone who's been here so long. I mean, the motherfucker has 67 fights. He's been doing this a long time. And you think how many fights he's had in the amateurs. Now I know Crawford's done this a long time too. But it's nothing to it's nothing to laugh at though. Both these guys are just so well attuned to this. Makes it really, really spectacular fight. But if I had to pick, I think I'm going to go with the bigger man. I'm going to go Canelo Alvarez. I think he's going to win the decision. I see this being a very nip and tuck fight. Both of these guys are winning multiple rounds. I can see a split decision for sure. But I just think Crawford's might make some mistakes overall in the offense department where Canelo's going to capitalize, and because he's more of natural super middleweight, he's going to have maybe not the power advantage, but used to the kind of power that not only he hits with, but the power that's going to come back his way via Crawford. I just think the first, I feel like if Crawford had maybe one fight at super middleweight before this one, like we really got to see what he looks like in this weight class, I wouldn't be maybe not picking who I am. I might be picking Crawford instead. But I just think Canelo just so attuned to this weight class, so attuned to his defenses and calculated pressure. I don't think it's a style Crawford's really fought at this kind of level. Again, he's fought great pressure fighters, but I just don't think any of them had the defensive awareness of Canelo. So, with that being said, I'm going to pick Canelo Alvarez, and I'm going with the decision. But make no mistake, this is a very nip and tuck fight. Two of the best guys in the world, number one, number two, however you want to go, the pound for pound type thing. Whoever wins is the face of boxing for the next few years. But with that being said, that had been my prediction for this boxing match. I hope you all enjoy. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe. And let me know what you thought overall of how I broke this down. If I missed anything or if I thought I served to pretty good expectations, let me know what you overall think. I'd love to hear some feedback. But with that being said, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.